All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. It is getaway day across the MLB. I'm going to talk about every game as always, and I got 5 best bets for you guys. So let's jump into this recap from yesterday. Started off great. We had the Cubs on the first 5, got the job done for us. Got a little sweaty, but hey, got it done. Nationals and the Marlins over 8.5. We can say it was sweat-free when you look at the end score. More worried if the Marlins were going to get it done for us, and they did in the bottom of the 8th, and then made a little bit of comeback in the bottom of the 9th. So cash that for us. We had the Brewers on the money line, up 3-1 in the 5th inning, and they gave up some runs. Gave up 4 runs. 5th inning has been rough for the Brewers last 2 games. I think they've given up 9 earned runs in the 5th inning alone. Couldn't get it done for us. That was disappointing. And the most disappointing was the Red Sox and the A's over 10.5. Now, we got hoodwinked on this one. Dustin May got scratched, got placed on the IL. They called up early, and he had a night. The lefty, as soon as I saw it was a lefty, I'm like, oh, God, no. He ended up getting like 11 Ks, which makes sense. I think he had 10 or 11 in his last minor league start. So really unlucky there. I love the righty matchup against the A's there. So highly disappointed that happened. I feel extremely confident we go over had that been Dustin May, but we didn't, alas. So the Athletics didn't score a single run, but we move on with the day. So 2-2 went down quarter of a unit. We can live with those days. Those days aren't gonna hurt us too much. But let's get back to a winning day today. So like the picks today, jumping into the card, Milwaukee and Texas kicking us off at 2:35 Eastern. Freddie Peralta going up against Merrill Kelly. Freddie Peralta's leading the majors with 16 wins. He's 16-5 on the season, 188 opponent average. Merrill Kelly's 11-7, has about a 207 opponent average. I expect this to be a pretty good game. I don't think the Brew Crew gets swept here, especially when we're talking about, 3 pretty big players missing on the Ranger side. So give me the Brewers on the money line here. -140 is not the worst price to pay, but really don't want to pay that with the away team. So going to fade this game, but I do like the Brewers. Next one, Boston and the A's. Going to be Peyton Toll going up against Mason Barnett. Now, Toll got hit up pretty good in his last start, and Mason Barnett has not been good. He's got 9 innings under his belt, and he's given up 9 earned runs. So I would go right back to the over in this one if it weren't for a lefty on the Boston side. That said, I still feel pretty good about that over. So it'd be over 10.5. We're going to take the Red Sox here. Race to 4. So I do think that they absolutely torch Barnett because, frankly, that's what he's been doing. Splits look pretty terrible for him. And we do have the wind blowing out again today. It's going to be 76 degrees. So we're going to take the Red Sox race to 3 over on DraftKings. Wouldn't mind them full game either. I have the 6-4 in terms of the Red Sox. So pretty close to that 10.5. Next game is going to be the D-backs and the Giants. Giants are starting to heat up again. 1-2 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10. D-backs have lost 3 in a row, and they're sending Eduardo Rodriguez to the mound, facing Carson Seymour. Now, this guy has looked pretty good. Frankly, I've been impressed with how he's been pitching. So give me the Giants on the money line. I don't trust Rodriguez on the road where he still has continued to struggle. I don't trust this bullpen. Give me the Giants on the money line at -110. May have slipped to -120 over on FanDuel by now, but if you can still get it at 110, great find there. So let's see. Oh, yeah, it looks like it has jumped to. So -120 over on BetMGM. I think it should still be probably the same on FanDuel, around -120 there as well. But I was able to get this at -110 this morning. Taj Bradley going up against Jose Soriano, Twins and the Angels. Man, Taj has been bad. Since he's come back, 16 innings, 16 earned runs. Now, Jose Soriano, has he been a dumpster fire? Yeah, but it's been against one team. We look at his last start against the Athletics, gave up 8 earned runs. Prior to that, gave up none to the Astros, none to the Rangers. Faced the Athletics again on August 17th, gave up 5 earned runs. Then he faced the Dodgers, gave up 0. So it's he's been okay against everybody except the Athletics. Rays did end up getting to him on August 5th for 7, but Taj Bradley gave up 4 to the White Sox, 1 to the Padres, 7 to the White Sox again, 4 to the White Sox. So it's like it feels like, okay, let's just take the over. But it's two teams. It's the White Sox and the Athletics that have absolutely torched these two pitchers. That said, I don't know how you don't take an over. We get an over-under of 9, so it'd be Angels on the money line or the over 9 for me. Next game is going to be Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Paul Skeens Day going up against Tyler Wells. Wells just has never really been good. You go back over the past 3 seasons, he's got a pretty high barrel rate. This would be, I understand the Pirates here, but there's no way I can pay for this. And it's been more profitable to fade Skeens on the road. So it'll be the Orioles on the money line, or if you want to fade or take the Pirates, it would be like Pirates first 7 minus a half, or Pirates first 5 minus a half, something like that. It involves Skeens in the game. So that's how I would play that one. Washington and Miami. This is an interesting one. I wanted to get involved here. I wanted to go right back to the over in this one. It's Jake Irvin and Yuri Perez. I actually think Perez may pitch well here, but really hasn't indicated that. Like, my issue is he just faced this team, went 4 innings, gave up 7 earned runs. That doesn't give me a lot of confidence. Prior to that, against the Mets, he gave up 5 earned runs, 2 to the Blue Jays, 1 to the Cardinals, 4 to the Guardians, 5 to the Braves. So he's been getting absolutely rocked lately. And then Jake Irvin is Jake Irvin. Gave up 7 against the Cubs, gave up 4 against the Rays, 3 against the Phillies, 6 against the Mets, 6 against the Royals, 3 against the Giants, 5 against the Brewers. Over. It's one... I really, really, really want to play this over. So I think at some point today, I will get involved with the over 8.5. I didn't put it on the card. I just have this weird feeling Perez might have a really fantastic game today. And it's the Marlins, kind of a weird team on getaway day. They're 11-12 at home in the last game of a series, but they've won 6 of their last 7. So I do lean Marlins on the money line. It's just a very stout line to pay. If we look at the Nationals with Irvin on the road in their last 7 games, they're 2-5, 10-14 overall on the road in the last game of a series. So it would be Marlins for me. Maybe Marlins team total over just in case Perez pitches badly. I still expect Irvin to do what he does and get rocked, and then you get that beautiful bullpen waiting. All right, next game is going to be the Mets and actually Guardians and Kansas City. Kansas City is just, they're on a roller coaster of bad right now. Jonathan Bowling going up against Logan Allen. We look at the Royals. They've scored 1 earned run against the last 4 left-handed starters they've faced. That said, I don't trust Logan Allen, but I don't really trust this Royals bats right now. So it would be the Guardians on the money line. It's just a bad team right now. They picked a bad time to go on a pretty nasty skid here coming down the stretch with the wild card. Ironically, kind of competing against the Guardians. So doesn't look good there. Mets and the Phillies. Clay Holmes against Christopher Sanchez. Philly got the job done easily yesterday. Clay Holmes, not somebody I trust. But that said, you look at Christopher Sanchez. He just faced this Mets team on August 25th, and they lit him up in New York. 8 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 3. Last 2 starts have been fantastic, though. Gave up 1 against Miami, 1 against the Braves. We look at Clay Holmes, just not somebody I trust, although his last 4 starts have been serviceable. Gave up 2 against the Tigers, 2 against the Marlins, 2 against the Braves, 1 against Seattle. Yeah, that's it. I don't trust him. So I think I want to go over in this one. 7.5 feels a little light. It's because the wind's going to be blowing in from right center. If the wind was blowing out, we'd probably get another run. It'd be 8.5. I'd actually feel a little bit better about that, but it would be the over for me. At this price, I can't take Philly. I mean, I think they win, but simply can't take it. The value here would be on taking the Mets. So I would take the over. All right, next game is going to be the Tigers and the Yankees. This was an interesting game yesterday. That was a crazy one. Cruz came in and just couldn't throw a strike. Leiter couldn't throw a strike, and they got just absolutely destroyed in the 7th after it being 2-2. So if you look at the box score, it looks like a blowout. It was actually a great game up until the 7th inning. Jack Flaherty going up against Carlos Rodon. Tigers have lost 4 of the last 5 games that Flaherty has pitched. He just hasn't been great. If we look at his game log here, gave up 4 against the White Sox, only gave up 1 against Kansas City, but then he faced them again, gave up 8. He's given up 5 against the White Sox, 5 against the Twins. He's just not been on a great stretch. Meanwhile, Rodon has been fantastic. He's given up 2 or less earned runs in his last 6 starts. So gave up 1 against Houston, 1 against Chicago, 2 against Boston, 2 against Tampa, 1 against the Twins, 2 against the Rangers. So he's been really good, but this is a Tigers team that hits lefties very well. So we're going to do Yankees race to 3. I wouldn't mind taking Yankees -1 as well, kind of an alternate line over there on DK at like -115. I think there's value there. I don't think Flaherty throws a gem here today, and if I'm wrong, so be it. The over kind of looks appealing to me. I could see the Yankees getting this potentially kind of similar to the Tigers, just kind of covering that line on their own. I could see this being like a 6-2, 6-3 kind of game. So I do lean towards that over 8 in this contest. All right, next game is going to be the Astros and the Blue Jays. What a win by the Blue Jays yesterday. It was not looking good. Shane Bieber did not pitch fantastic, and the Astros bullpen blew it. Bobby Abreu came in and just looked terrible, allowed them to take it to extras and ultimately win the game. Jason Alexander going up against Jose Barrios. I don't have a good feel for this one. I don't trust Barrios. Like, I can never get a good barometer on this guy. There's just no consistency to him, right? There's not a lot of patterns. He just gets rocked or he pitches really good. And Jason Alexander has looked pretty fantastic. So to me, value's on taking Houston +115. I think the Blue Jays stole one yesterday. They used Hoffman, so they used some guys yesterday. It would be the Astros for me in this spot, but I do have it I have it neck and neck. I mean, literally, my motto has it exactly the same score. So in that case, you take the value, take the plus money. All right, next game is going to be the Cubs and the Braves. Good job, Cubs, coming through for us yesterday. Jameson Taillon going up against Chris Sale. There's a line that doesn't make sense that I'm on. It's Chris Sale over 6.5 Ks. He's over this in 9 of his last 10. He's had 2 starts back. He's gone over it easily. He went 20 outs in his last outing through 92 pitches, so I'm not worried about pitch count. I think he should be able to just absolutely dominate this Cubs lineup. So I don't mind Sale over 6.5 Ks. That's our official play. Braves first 5 run line, so -0.5. You can get that at like -115, -120. It's a brave spot for me. Again, price-wise, I'm not paying -160, so the value is on the +140, just from a pure value standpoint. But I think the Cubs probably get locked down by Sale here. It's more the issue of can the Braves hit. The reason why I didn't take the first 5 run line, their offense has been very spotty over the last 2 weeks, hitting right around 200. So not a team I necessarily want to bank on to score a bunch of runs. So we're taking Chris Sale over 6.5 Ks, -115 on BitMGM. Next one, Tampa Bay and the White Sox. We don't have a pitcher announced for the White Sox. I do believe it's going to be Sean Burke, though. He's going to be going up against Griffin Jax. Now, Jackson, his last spot start here didn't go so well. He got rocked in the first inning. This is a White Sox team that is a sneaky team. They did get beat yesterday, but I need a little more value here than +125 to get on board. So I would take the over 8 as my best bet, maybe raise team total over type of deal. Burke's splits lately have not been good last 30 days. 350 average to lefties, 273 to righties. Elevated hard hit percentage hasn't been overly fantastic. So like I said, the over 8 or Tampa Bay team total over. Next game is going to be the Reds and the Padres. How about those Reds? Getting a big win there for the wild card hunt here. So with the Mets losing, brings it within 3 games of the wild card. So don't look now, but you got the Giants 2 back of the wild card. You got the Reds 3 games back in the wild card. So Mets are losing ground today. So big game today for them. This one we get Andrew Abbott going up against Nick Pivetta. We saw the Padres, lose yesterday. Some really fantastic catches in that game. If you didn't watch it, Will Benson made a catch up against the wall. Thought he might have broke his neck. Let's see. We had Tatis make a fantastic play, robbing a home run. So a lot of good defensive plays in that one yesterday. Even Sal Stewart at first made a really nice play. But this one, can't really get on board. Abbott has just not looked good. All right, if you've been watching, there's just been regression from him. I think he's just tired. I think Pavetta's going to dominate this Reds offense or Reds team. So give me the Padres -1. We're going to take an alternate line here. Don't trust once we get past Andrew Abbott, so it doesn't really get better from there. So I like the Padres to do some damage against the Reds today. Next game is going to be the Cardinals and the Mariners. Michael McGreevy going up against Logan Gilbert. I just don't trust Gilbert. That said, Gilbert at home historically is somebody you want to trust. But at this line, it's ludicrous. It's Cardinals or nothing. So you're getting +195, and the games have been pretty competitive so far. And it's getaway day where crazy things happen. Yeah, give me the Guardians. Or give me the Cardinals on the money line, or at least on the run line. Just does not make sense to me whatsoever. But who knows? All right, next game and our last game. Rockies and the Dodgers. Blake Snell going up against Kyle Freeland. This is when I want to just take Blake Snell to record a win at +105. I just don't know if I trust him. He hasn't exactly looked fantastic. Got rocked in his last start. And this is just a weird Rockies team that's actually hitting lefties pretty decently. And Kyle Freeland's coming off a very good start. He went 8 innings, 10 strikeouts. So do I trust that Kyle Freeland's going to throw back-to-back gems? Not really. But there's no value here. So the value is on the Rockies +275 here, unfortunately. So like I said, it's that, or I'd take Blake Snell to record a win at +105. I think his strikeout line's a little high at 7.5. That said, the Rockies K with the best of them. So who knows? Could throw 13 Ks today. But like I said, Blake Snell to record a win or Rockies money line. That's the only way I can find value here. All right, let's get into our best bets. Get you guys on your way. Appreciate you tuning in. First play, like I said, Chris Sale over 6.5 Ks. I think he's going to strike out some Cubs today. The Giants on the money line going up against Eduardo Rodriguez. We're going to take the Yankees race to 3, fading Flaherty. And we're going to take the Red Sox race to 4, fading Mason Barnett in his 9 innings pitched, 9 earned runs. Saw the Red Sox get off to a hot start yesterday where they scored 4. And then we're going to take the Padres -1. So those are my 5 best bets. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the channel. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video.